Math just doesn't add up, but even more than the math, the lessons from Europe and the elections this weekend is simple. Nobody's going to volunteer for austerity, and austerity is definitely about past due bills. And in this country, the minute you're born, according to the debt clock, you have about a $50,000 debt the minute you're born. Now, that's per individual. If you just look for a taxpayer, it's closer to $138,000 per head. Now let's look at what everybody wants to talk about. We want to talk about growth, and that's definitely something out of the windshield, where austerity is something in the rearview mirror. Now, when it comes to growth, it's all about trying to hook in, of course, future capital and create more jobs. Now, what did we learn this weekend? This weekend we learned, after thinking about it, that the jobs outlook in the U.S. isn't very good, and it's really about young people. Look at the unemployment rate among the young, and you realize that jobs are most important to them. Why? Because young people, and as a voting bloc, all of you people out there about 27 or younger, I just want you to understand the lay of the land. Your generation and the generations to follow you that aren't born yet are paying for a meal that previous generations like mine have eaten. We're sending you the check. But in order to send you the check, we have to make you a bit optimistic about the future. And I find that rather difficult, because when you have these numbers on your head, that doesn't include, of course, the fact that to get a job, you're probably going to have to get an education. The numbers are clear. The higher your education level, the more money you make. If you're going to have to pay for college, add that into that $50K you're born with. And the other thing you're going to have to pay for, of course, is going to be some form of health care. Now, this is an interesting one. We get a lot of groups on the floor. And I always say, who's going to cost more to insure, me or you? And they all raise their hand because they're smart. They say you, of course, Rick Santelli, and I'd say you're right. Then why are all the health care policies being bantered about, those in front of the Supreme Court, maybe ones that haven't been put forth yet, all make it so you as a youth, a younger person, are going to share the same cost. You end up subsidizing everybody else. So how do you hook these young people in? You basically give them student loan forgiveness. And remember, $1 trillion is where student loans are now. But where's that money going to come from? Consider this, that if we give you that to hook you into the Ponzi scheme of trying to pay for all the other austerity of the past, what we are really doing is we're promising to take care of you, although we've demonstrated that we can't take care of the people already in this country. And what's more, to take care of you, you are basically volunteering to not be able to take care of yourself. Why? Because if you worry about your retirement, can you save for it? There's no interest rates. You can't get a job, and in the end, the money that you're going to be contributing shortly, if you're one of the 18 to 24-year-olds getting near finishing college, that money doesn't have your name on it. It has other people's names on it that are already in the system, and of course, the money to fuel that system, partially payroll taxes, the politicians have bartered away, once again, to pay the past due bills. Wake up, young people. It's on your shoulders, and you're a big voting bloc. You can make change. Carl, back to you.
Not a good time to be young, as Paul Krugman wrote today, Rick, although I think he was coming at it from a slightly different angle. Talking